Everybody go and get your tinfoil cap. Hazmat suits for the losers in the back. It goes gas mask, gas mask, gas mask, gas. Hazmat suits for the losers in the back.
Yo, it's time to get politic with the whiz kid. Folks who stay holistic, mostly full of shit. But let's be heuristic, victims of the grift. And me, I'm not a hero, but you know the shoe fits. Everybody go and get your tinfoil cap. Hazmat suits for the losers in the back. It goes gas mask, gas mask, gas mask, gas. Hazmat suits for the losers in.
Welcome, Wastelanders, once again to the Council of the Waste podcast. As always, it's your entire notorious F-A-M, yeah! The notorious D-O-M, and the hostess with all the cakes, Kathy.
Hey.
And we are joined, as pretty much usual, by the man beneath me who streams so many different Bethesda games, just games on top of games, The Last of Us, Days End, and all kinds of good shit. He's all about shooting, scooting, and shenanigans. It's Ram. And next to him is well, he's my big bubbly brother. You can catch him Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays on his channel, streaming every Bethesda game he can find, mostly with mods, which is great. Mods are awesome. Mods rock. And he's even started to publish a few videos, which are quite compelling. I recommend checking out his channel and Ram's link in the description, all that good stuff. It's Bubbalonia, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, the burb next to me happens to be the greatest, most just soothing voice on YouTube ever.
It's like, where are you going with this, Dom?
She also streams Bethesda games all weekend long. She is a modder, a Sim Settlements plot maker extraordinaire, and the host of this little get-together. It's Ravenswift. Hey, girl.
Hey. How's everyone doing?
Hey.
Pretty good considering the circumstances. I know what you're thinking. This is a day late. You guys are $1 short, and episode 5 is already out. What the fuck? Where's GP? All of that. Here's the deal, guys. We got together. We recorded for a good solid 2 hours the other day. And we had a great time. We had a lot of laughs. We had a lot of fun. We made a lot of predictions and even came up with a drinking game. And then the following morning, in fact, at the end, Raven even thanked me for all the work I've done on the technical side of recording us and producing us and publishing us and all that stuff. And then the next morning, I go to get the episode, and when I hit download, it tells me, error, file not found. So our 2 hour recording is sitting somewhere in limbo. So we had to start this all over again. And unfortunately, since we're starting this all over again, some of us may know more than some of us on screen. And unfortunately, unfortunately, the game plan had to work late tonight. So he is unable to join us, even though he was in the first recording. So if you're watching this and you're upset that it's late, or you're upset that GP's not here, leave your bullshit StreamYard in the chat. So now, without any further ado, let's start episode 4 for the second time. Raven, take it away.
All right. So we are here to talk about Fallout Season 2, Episode 4, The Demon in the Snow. As always, I will just kind of talk a little bit about each scene that we saw, and then we'll just run with it from there. So the first scene takes us to the Alaskan front with Cooper and Charlie, and we see them struggle with their janky power armor. Charlie ends up following Cooper's orders and retreats, and Cooper is then overrun by the enemy. And then, what did you guys think of that whole scene? We actually got a good look at the death claws and the reds.
It tells me that the Bethesda jank extends into the film as well if the T-45 isn't working properly.
Right?
Real.
Keeping it real. Yep. Love that Bethesda jank.
Again, I said it and I'll say it again because I think it bears repeating. There was such an outcry after this episode about the power armor in Anchorage and the death claws in Anchorage. And, it's cute. And it shows that some of you may have been fans of this franchise for a while and some of you may not know. But, like, even if it is, who cares? Chill out, Chad Horn. I know T-1s were used in Anchorage. I know that. I get it, Chad Horn. You don't have to scream about it on social media. And if you don't think that Death Claws were not a part of Anchorage, then you don't know your Fallout lore in the first place. So again, shut up, Chad Horns.
Well, you told us where you
with another channel.
No. You told us where we can find out more about the Death Claws pre-war. Where was that again?
Well, exactly. I mean, if you want a more modern example, just play the Automatron DLC. Go to the Mechanist layer, and when you get to the area with the Robo Brains, where they have all the little Futurama brains in jars lined up in the filing cabinets, you'll see some exam tables. You'll see some X-ray boards. One of those X-ray boards has not one but 2 Deathclaw skulls on X-rays right behind the exam table.
And that's definitely pre-war tech.
Yeah, that's literally nobody's
in there.
Not even the Mechanist has even cleaned that place out since she got there. She's the first person in there in 200 years.
And to put it into perspective, it's not like she didn't have a robotic workforce to clean up the factory.
Yeah.
So that's all there.
Well, they didn't make a lot of Codsworths in that factory. That was the problem.
Yeah.
Robo Brains are notorious for not cleaning. And I don't mean notorious.
Yes.
I see what you did there, and I love
it. So we learned about the power armor, and we learned about the Death Claws. And what I thought was really fascinating was like the Chinese squad leader's little speech that she gave about like, look at this power armor in the future. This is what we're going to be wearing, and we'll have no choice. And then she got eaten by a death claw. But spoilers. So yeah, I just thought that was a really nice little bit of storytelling there, and kind of humanized the enemy a little bit, I guess. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The cynicism was symmetrical.
It was a callback to the previous episode too, where Charlie was talking about, I'm sure that the people on the other side heard the same kind of bullshit that we did. So it was a shout back to that as well, I think.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But real quick, I'm getting a message here on the old bat phone. It's Chadley, by the way, Dom. And he says, fuck you, stop picking on me.
And stop posting on social media.
Oh no.
I'm in a work meeting. You're blowing up my phone midday about this bullshit that has to do with the series. Get a job. Get out your mom's basement. Okay.
Okay.
Damn. Shots
Dom's
fired.
got some feelings, yes.
Maybe even I don't know. Get a woman.
Oh geez. Okay. Let's get back to the episode. So after we see the Death Claw and everything like that, the next scene takes us back to the Sunset Sarsaparilla bottling plant, where Max and Thaddeus are cleaning up the mess that Harkness's power armor left. And Max actually convinces Thaddeus to wear Harkness's power armor and to go back to the Brotherhood base, which I thought was hilarious because Thaddeus is hilarious.
Thaddeus is great.
He's a bit haphazard, is he not?
I'll be totally honest. I'll be totally honest. Thaddeus in power armor is her behind the wheel of a car.
What?
Yes.
Wow.
What do you really think about Thaddeus, Kathy?
Dom's inflamed tonight.
I love him. He's a huge comic relief, and he just lightens up the mood of the whole show. Because there's a lot of heavy scenes in the first couple scenes. So
For sure. Yeah.
yeah,
Right
Yeah.
on. Right on.
The show's been doing a good job of that, of like Ram just said, like the balancing act of it. Like we're dealing with such heavy topics and like it's all doom and gloom a lot of the time, but true to the games as well. Like there's a lot of serious things happening in the games, but they're fucking hilarious all the time.
At the
Like
same time,
Yeah.
yeah. Like besides the Bethesda jank, like the writing and everything. So yeah, I think the writers are doing a really good job with the show of keeping that, like maintaining that balance and the whole juxtaposition of it all.
I think Dad's got a lot of heart too. You know, there's that whole bit where he goes, "I don't want to go. I could just run." And
I'm good at running.
You know, I'm good at running. And Max says, "Yeah, sometimes running's the best thing you can do, but sometimes it's not." And Dad just goes, "And it sucks too." And Max nods his head and says, "Yeah, it sucks." There's a lot of heart there. Like,
Yeah.
I know we meme on him for being like a sweatshop running manager of the bottle cap factory or whatever. Like other than the 22-hour shift thing, which is played for laughs, he's showing a lot of heart towards that kids in every one of his actual actions.
It's extremely endearing.
Yeah, I just feel
also
like
from Maximus to Thaddeus as well. Like
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, you left the Brotherhood and you got this thing going on, but we're in this together. Support me, I'll support you.
Right. Just the fact that Maximus he wants to run, and Maximus says to him, like, if they come here, they're gonna kill half these kids, and you know it.
Yeah.
But the thing that tipped Thaddeus was the fact that Maximus said the other half will get recruited. And that was what was like the light bulb went off in Thaddeus's mind, was like, oh, yeah, no, we can't have that. Let's we gotta do something. So yeah, and I think like Thaddeus saying it sucks and like whatever, showing that much heart, that's so relatable to a lot of us, right? Like we're all dealing with shit, and a lot of us have our own escape tactics and
Like
a lot of us
this.
play games to do that. So yeah, for Thaddeus to say, yeah, I'm good at running, and then for Maximus to say, well, sometimes you can't, you just can't, you gotta face the whatever it is they're gonna face.
It's like I know.
May.
I'm an Italian from Philly, but I got the vibes of like Rocky talking to his son in Rocky Balboa, where he's telling him life ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It'll put you down and keep you down if you let it, but it's not about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. In that little moment, it wasn't as overly the top dramatic, but it was very parallel.
Yeah.
All he had to say was, "Yeah, it sucks," and it almost felt like the exact same thing.
I think they do that for each other too. That's a mutual thing for the two of them. Like they both need that pep talk. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Not to mention, like the dialogue in The Wasteland would probably be way less eloquent because there's not a whole lot of education out there, you know.
Yeah.
A whole lot of education within the Brotherhood, you know.
Yeah, not a lot of loquacious individuals.
Yeah.
You know.
So for him to say that sucks speaks volumes, for sure. All right, so we're gonna do this a little bit quicker tonight because we are on a time crunch. So I'm just gonna move on to the next scene, if that's okay.
Perfect.
Moving on.
Okay. So next we see Lucy wake up in the care of the NCR after being on an intravenous drip of buff out for a couple of days, and we lost Dom. Oh no.
Does that mean we're losing the
Oh no. Sam's back. And and Ram is back.
I thought for a minute, like it gets all shut down and it's just him, and he's like, "Aha! It's all mine."
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry about that. So Lucy was on a drip of.
Yeah. She was on a drip of buff out for a couple of days, which that's like constant buff out for a couple of days. That's a lot of buff out.
Anti-inflammatory steroids.
I guess.
Not
yeah,
just for
yeah.
breakfast anymore, you guys.
No.
Or extreme bronchitis.
I
Yeah.
put it in my coffee.
Yeah.
But this leads us to like one of my most favorite scenes in the whole series so far. But what did you guys think of like the NCR and like their show of like they're caring for Lucy and everything like that, and then the ghoul is there and he's making her talk about her dad and like justice and anyways, what do you guys think?
Still some reserved optimism.
My first thought when they had the IV in her was like, oh, this must be like fluids or something, because they had to give her a stim pack. Like they've got a stim pack, right? Like what else would they give her? And then you find out she's been pumped full of buff out for like 48 hours, and you're like, oh,
yeah. Well,
again, you know, like these lost remnant troopers and sergeants of the NCR, all like 3 of them, they mean well, but they just don't have what they need to accomplish their means. And yeah, I mean, it's like on one hand they save her, on the other hand, now you're kind of addicted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe give her something more than a trunk full of New Vegas weapons, which was awesome. Like maybe a little extra buff out for the road, you know, something. Maybe here's some Addictol, have fun.
Yeah.
and I tell you, there was when they're at the encampment, it did kind of remind me when they're in, what is it, Prim, or what is it, the camp where you meet Major Knight, where you go in near the Vicky and Vance, where he tells you that
right across the street from Prim.
Yeah, it's like right next to the bridge going
they
into
say
Prim.
that they weren't even getting backup either. He can't lend any aid. So like the parallel between those two scenes was like frightening congruent, you know?
Yeah.
And they still had Shady Sands.
Yeah. And this was before all this.
Right.
And then as the ghoul and Lucy are walking away, Lucy is she really does appreciate all of the guns that they gave her, but she just kind of like dismisses them and says, oh, just more matching jackets, which is very, I don't know, pretty cynical of Lucy. Like we see her kind of like turning into not like happy-go-lucky Lucy anymore.
I think
that was the buff out.
I think what you're trying to say is it was very ghoulish of Lucy.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
No, I thought it demonstrated her, despite actually being on the buff out drip, that she was perceptive enough to point that out. Like she didn't just draw that conclusion out of the air. Like she kind of saw a pattern and was able to clear it up very quickly.
Getting crucified changes a person, you know?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
She's been through some shit.
Yeah, for sure.
It was a great bit of foreshadowing as well for later on in the episode when she helps take care of somebody who's wearing a completely unique jacket.
So, yeah.
Oh God.
More matching.
My heart. I loved the king. The king.
Oh God, you had to
out heroes.
Okay, this is for Ram and I.
Emotional dad.
Yeah, because I still remember the speech he gave me last year when I played New Vegas, you know, where he described the outlook of the kings. We're all kings here, you know, like that whole vibe of just keeping your power.
Yeah.
And when I first watched the episode, I didn't I don't remember a lot of New Vegas because it's been years since I've played. So I didn't really realize that the Kings were like a gang and that this is them turned into feral ghouls. And once I had that realization, I was like, well, wait a second. Not that much time has passed. So what made them turn feral so quickly? And Bubs, you mentioned, what did you say? I'm trying to remember what. you ended up saying last night.
Yeah, I got to be real careful with this because
I think it was GP
It
who
would
had
be
brought
like
up.
meta territory, I think.
I think it was GP who had brought up like if you play New Vegas, House talks about one of his reactors leaking.
Oh yeah.
Almost melting down,
Yeah.
and he speculated that maybe the strip was full of radiation and the kings turned into ghouls because one of the reactors in the Lucky 38 finally did melt down.
Mm-hmm,
And that when Cooper looked up at House's little area at the tippity top, the Space Needle looking piece, it was completely dark.
Right. Yeah, that's where we ended up landing at the end of
I miss you, GP.
Yeah.
You're good. I'm representing you, and that was a damn good theory, sir.
Right. It took us a couple hours to get there, but
it's worth pointing out. Oh, go ahead.
No, you first. Go ahead.
It's worth pointing out that the Kings actually protected the one water source in Freeside as well for the gardening. Yeah, the Kings were watching it go down, and also like if the Kings aren't there protecting that, and I didn't see any Van Graffs either, so that tells me it. Also, I didn't see any followers of the Apocalypse, but there were far more population in Freeside than it was before. So who's keeping the peace now? And was that situation resolved?
Yeah, I'm gonna guess we see like some new kings or something, but like as soon as they popped up on the screen, I was like, "Oh God, it's Pacer! No, not the king! Not the king!"
Yeah.
But you go back, it was hilarious. It was kind of hilarious to see Lucy afterwards walking to the strip, going, "I don't know, does the air feel like heavy and itchy?"
Yeah.
Hungry for not
food.
Hungry for not food. Yeah.
Yeah. You ever been hungry for not food? And the ghoul tries to tell her that she's addicted to Buff Out, and she just basically says, "Well, I'm not addicted from now on."
Yeah. Very.
Wish it were that simple.
I'm like, that's not how it works, boo boo. That is nowhere near how it works. And within a second, Cooper pulls that bottle out. She's like, "What you got there? What you got?"
Yeah, you can smell it.
With itchy golden retriever energy too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I thought that was another good example of how the writers are making it feel like we're in the game, like. Because when you get addicted to chems in the game, you've got all of these like negative buffs happening where you have to take some addictol, and then that makes you hungry, and then you eat food, and then that makes you thirsty, and you're like bogged down by
water,
actually.
And now you're radiated.
Yeah, like maintaining
it's
your
different to look at it in terms of stats and actually seeing the physical emote that comes with it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But that's I love that. I was like, this is showing me this is showing me how I feel in the game. Yeah. Yeah. I thought that was very cool for sure.
But it did lead to one of the best scenes in the entire fucking show.
Well, the combat scene.
Monkeys in the truck. Hit it.
What's the alternative?
Do more drugs.
You see the look on his face? He's like practically purring.
He's
he's like, "Come on, girl, you know what's up."
I'm amazed after he said that he didn't go, "The first one's free."
He already had the free though. See, that's the thing.
She's already hooked. So
the first one's rode for free off screen. So
Yeah, no, I do. I love that scene so much. It made me laugh a lot.
Although, do I need to bring something up from the episode nobody saw?
Yeah.
2 more chems.
Yeah.
Chems, because apparently YouTube has a problem with the word. So chems.
But then, Dom, you went on a rant again about people complaining about they're not calling them chems in the show. They're calling them drugs, and how we were like, it's just a word. But there are people out there that are like honestly upset that they're not being called chems.
It's just a word, and it's all the same things. I don't care if you call it chems, drugs, pharmaceuticals, opioids. They're drugs. They're all I'm sorry, chems.
There's so many words to describe it, In the Pit Boy, they're called Aid.
Yeah,
That's true. Yeah.
right.
You know,
In the Pip Boy, Buff Out's in the AIDS section.
Do more aid.
Right? Should we start calling it aid now?
Doesn't roll off the tongue as well. You know?
doesn't.
It's like people getting mad because Norm called the Band-Aids merit dots.
Well, yeah, but that's
We know what they are. Why are
Yeah.
you complaining?
Who's out there taking these people seriously, though?
yeah,
You know,
that
I
is
mean,
True.
come on.
Yeah.
You know,
I wish I could say there was nobody, but unfortunately, you know, the Way of the Wasteland, there is that group. We even talked about that the other day on the recording that never was, because I got Bubbles to actually watch his first wrestling match and event.
yeah. They've
And
done their heel turn.
you know, the big heel turn is what makes people pop and makes people pay. And and a lot of these Chad horns think they can get on social media, or they could jump on YouTube and they can go heel, and people just pop and pay, watch and subscribe and like and all that stuff. And I could probably do that too. I could sit here and whine because you don't get the winterized T45 or T60 in Fallout 3 when completing the Anchorage DLC. I'm not gonna do it. You know why? I'm not a dick, and I know it's a show. Because that's the thing, whether it's wrestling, whether it's Fallout, whether it's whatever, there are always people who feel that this is real. Those tribalistic cultists who feel like whatever is happening on their screen is a real
Immersion
thing.
is very personal. And
I mean, immersion is
yeah.
one thing. That's fine.
Mhm.
But people take immersion and they think, oh, that must mean it's that means it's real, because
It's across the board, and that's not always the case.
Unless you're playing Fallout in a Ready Player One suit with all the bells and whistles and the crotch thing, like, you're not being immersed. If you're holding a controller, if you're moving a mouse, you're not in it. Regardless of what you put on the screen, I don't care how. The cute little animations of me eating and drinking my food. You're not really eating and drinking.
well, almost.
You're clicking with a mouse.
You're in the Matrix, Neo.
I wish I could click a steak with a mouse and all of a sudden feel a steak in my mouth. This is
Oh,
delicious.
that would be nice.
That's not how it works.
Yeah,
Whoa.
you're
That's
wrong,
not
Dom.
real.
The
It's
imagery.
immersive. It's not real. There is a difference. And with this show, the writers, like with the Power Armor, you know, people are people who played a lot of Fallout 4, or who started on Fallout 4, are so used to the big clunky T60s. That's all they ever knew. People don't know about Fallout 3, and there were a lot of the fan base don't know about Fallout 3 and New Vegas, and the fact that Power Armor was just literally metal clothing that you put on that didn't require a frame or a fusion core. And so they are going to cater to that group of people for the show. It doesn't mean they're trying to insult you. It means they're trying to include other people. Let them in.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Bubbles?
Oh, I think immersion, for me, immersion happens between the ears, you know? So, like, I could be immersed without the mod that makes it look like I'm eating, but that doesn't hurt, you know?
Yeah.
Immersion's between the ears, but at the same time, I'm not gonna, it's kind of the same reason why I role play my characters the way I do. You know, there's an element of meta real world stuff coming in there because I'm interacting with chat, right? I can't just be in character. That would be unimmersive for the chat. And I think that people forget that when they watch shows like this, they're so worried about like whether or not they're right or first about something, that they're walking around with this weird lump in their shadow over something they're supposed to love and have fun with.
Right.
You know, Fallout has always been almost equal parts dark, funny, satirical, grim, cute. There's elements of all of that.
Body horror.
That body horror,
which is not a popular thing these days.
Well, it depends on what
Not
you're
as
into,
much.
I guess.
I
But,
come
you know.
from a horror role-playing background. It's not nearly as popular as it was.
Not
20
even
years
close.
ago.
Yeah.
Not
What
even
is
people
body
say-
horror? I don't even know what that is.
Okay, you know how like the ghouls are set up? That is considered a classification of body horror, where you have like prosthetic faces and everything like that. Cuts, scrapes, wounds, bruises, bones sticking out. All of that is considered body horror.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Centaur's the master, being a
Yeah,
mix of multiple
Centaur.
different things.
Yeah.
The feeling
Ooh.
that your humanity is the feeling that your humanity is
You said the
creeping away from
C
you.
word. She immediately got the hibbity dibbity. She hates those things.
Yeah, that grossed
That's
me
the thing.
out.
That
They're pretty creepy.
Fallout, whether it's the games, the series, or whatever, it's meant to bring people together. It's not meant to so people can be right about this or that or the. It's meant to bring people together because honestly, we didn't even know each other wouldn't without Fallout.
Yeah, that is very true.
Very true. But how many people have this experience with their Fallout? See, even then, we're kind of coming from a pretty lucky place, right?
Mhm.
Because we have this experience where we could talk about stuff and laugh and make jokes and really express our love for this franchise and how many tens of thousands of hours between all of us we have in these games without being jumped on or piled on or whatever. But a lot of people, they've been piled on because they had an opinion that other people disagreed with. And their way of expressing their love for this franchise now is to go to bat for, how said cats were extinct. So fuck Fallout 4. And that's how they get attention. That's how they get validation. That's how they tribe up and form groups with other people who also agree that one guy named Myron invented jet and nobody else ever thought to use a euphemism like jet or go fast or gack or speed or whatever for similar types of drugs. They get their validation this way.
And that's the most important word there is validation, I think, for sure.
Right.
Keep on going though. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying I don't want to say, I'm not saying I pity them. I just feel bad that they don't get to have the experience that we're having right now and that we get to have all the time on our Discords and all that other stuff where we can talk about it, joke about it, disagree with each other. And at the end of the day, we're still in love with it. You know what I mean? It's still the thing that we're into.
The irony of that is maybe they do too, but they still want to complain.
Well, that's fair. I don't have any way of knowing that. It just feels like they have no other outlet, so they complain.
Yeah, more or less. And that's the thing. We can dare I say, debate certain things about Fallout or the series or whatever. But at the end of the day, we're still tight. We don't care. Like it's just because it's a game. It's a game we love and that we enjoy, but it's just a game. And sometimes people matter more. Like I know Bubbles has this huge theory going about, and he put a video out, which I loved, about, the series being shot from the point where the player character doesn't exist. And I think that's awesome. But, I also saw in this episode between getting us back from derailing, because again, if we ain't derailing, we ain't on this channel. But getting back to this episode, when you see the ghoulified kings, when you see the strip and it's irradiated and you see all these things, this kind of points towards a semi-canonical ending of Fallout New Vegas where House had won.
Sure.
Because there are options where if you take the I think it's GI Blue's quest from the king, and instead of talking to the leader of the NCR to Freeside, you just kill him.
Yeah.
And you make a few choices after that, and then you go and choose House and you beat the game. Then you end up in almost the exact same spot that we saw in the strip.
Yeah, you do. Except for without the radiation leak.
Without the radiation.
But it's been 15 years. Anything can happen. I'll just say very briefly.
A lot of things in the
my theory
can change in a
is
minute.
a thought experiment designed to get people talking and to try to, like what I've been doing since I came up with that, was looking for specific examples like this one, which tends to point towards a counterfactual canonical ending to that particular thing, because that's fun for me. I didn't make it up to be right and go on talk shows and talk about how I figured out what the IP holders and Amazon are doing behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Conspiracies are fun
about that.
That's the response that I'm talking about. I literally just said that, which goes against everything that Bubbles had brought on the table, and that's the response, guys. Because at the end of the day, it's a game. And we don't know exactly what's going to happen. It doesn't have to be completely accurate. It doesn't have to be real, as long as we're enjoying it. And as long as we're enjoying the company of people who feel the same way about this franchise, this series, that we do.
Yeah.
We can sit there and have this conversation, and nobody's fuck you, no fuck you, because nobody's trying to pull a heel turn on the Council of the Waste.
Might be fun for like the 7th episode. Like somebody storms off, throws their headset down. Fuck you guys!
Ball's like, fuck you, I'm right. Boom. There's no player character.
You got to mute their microphone because in the background you can hear them kicking their dog and slamming.
No.
Fortunately for all of us, I think we're socially well adjusted.
I'm done with all you. I want a divorce.
Well, hopefully that doesn't happen. I'm pretty sure we all like each other well enough around here.
No,
so.
one of you would really have to piss me off, especially her.
I don't know. I'm having second thoughts.
Ram's like, evil Ram.
I did want to be the raider. Remember that?
Yes.
That's right. All right. So let's we'll get back to the episode. The next scene is just like a little, to me it was like a throwaway scene until you guys all explained to me why it was there. But it takes us back into Vault 33, and there's the products of inbreeding support group meeting going on. And there's a lot more people in the group now because the snacks are so good and because they've got all the water, despite there being some water rationing happening. So I was like, I don't understand why this scene is even here, but you guys explained it to me. Remind me again.
Emphasizing collapse.
Yeah, it was mostly showing at least the erosion of Vault 33, where like either everybody decided that they've been humping their cousin, or everybody wants more water. Either way, they're all there, and the water is coming in because, as he told Betty, it's in the charter. You can't you can't stop me, and he just keeps going to get it and keeps going to get it, and now the well has run dry.
And that forces Betty to go talk to Steph. So without that scene, you're like, yeah, she needs water, but what gives her this this line of reasoning that she takes with Steph, which is like, look, can we stop fucking around? This company's not here anymore. None of these old rules apply. They don't work. The systems are breaking down. And she's doing that because, Reg just showed her, you put the snack budget in the charter. We have to abide by that. Otherwise, basically we need a new vote for who's going to be the overseer. That literally comes down to. So that's why the scene, I think, has to be in there.
And at that point, Betty is probably like thinking to herself, well, I've asked my constituents to maybe ease up, and they're not gonna. So now I have to go do the next thing, which is go and beg Steph to share resources, which Steph is a cold Canadian.
Can I just say real quick too? She is a cold Canadian, but can I just say real quick? I think that what makes that even more Vault Tech and even more Fallout is that chances are good the other citizens of the Vault who aren't at the cousin fucking meeting are observing the 1 liter a day rule. They're in there, they're dripping water on plants with an eyedropper, they're doing their job,
drinking water out of a shot glass,
and that juxtaposes the idea that more and more people are jumping ship from doing their jobs and following the rules to joining the snack club to circumvent the rules, which is forcing her into a corner. And I think that's the energy that she brings to her meeting with Canada.
Yeah. I mean, you can totally tell both sides of Bud's program, because Betty feels more of the goober-fied, bright-eyed, person who is saying that the Vault doesn't work. But Steph is like 3 steps away from being a Bond villain. Like Steph.
3 steps.
I hate to say this. Steph.
I don't know. I think we might already be there.
Steph is practically Hank with tits.
Yeah, an eye patch.
I think there's more to that probably than meets the eye too, but who knows? I think that the one thing that a lot of people I feel like are missing, because I don't hear it from you guys. Now maybe you think it, and I don't know, but I just feel like Betty's had 30 years or whatever it is outside of the cryotube.
Right.
The last time her and Steph were together, they were both 20-something, young, upwardly mobile professionals working for Vault-Tec, jockeying for position, trying to be friendly, but also undercut each other so they can come out on top. Betty's had 30 years to see the ups and downs of this thing. And I think she's starting to care more about even somebody like Reg, who's breaking the rules on purpose to show her up. I think she's caring more about her people now than she ever did before when she was Steph's age.
Yeah.
Oh,
she's
absolutely.
a product of her newer experience.
She's a product of her newer experience. She's a character capable of growth.
You can see that when she's talking to Stephanie, because she's telling her flat out, like, this has failed. Vault-Tec is gone. Nobody is coming for us. There is no Vault-Tec. All we have is each other.
That's
and
right.
Steph's like, no, all you have is each other. I have all this, and you don't even have a drop of water
Such
left.
as it is.
Talk to the hand, bitch.
Yeah, really.
Right?
Give
This
me
is an
what's in the
A-B
box.
conversation. You can see your way out of it, girl.
For her, it was relatively recently when she was in Vault-Tec and doing Vault-Tec things. I don't know whether it's a year or 2 or 10 years, whatever it is, but for her, she doesn't have all that built up time, and she's got some trauma too. She, her husband died. She got her eye stabbed out. Who the hell knows what's going on, but she is definitely one step closer to the edge, and she's about to break.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
I'm amazed she didn't tell Betty, shut
The
up.
guitar riff is playing in my head.
But it also proves a theory, a tale that's as old as time. And yes, ladies, I'm gonna blow you up on this. All women secretly hate each other.
Well, when Bubbles was explaining, like,
don't even
the relationship between Betty and Steph, and I was like, yeah, that's like a typical female.
I have seen this
professional relationship
conversation
where you're like building each other up, but also secretly wishing for
I have
their
seen this.
demise.
I have seen this conversation so many times in real life with her, where she'll see somebody out in public and, oh my God, no, hug and jump up and down, and they'll be all happy and smiling, and, oh, call me, we'll go do this or get something to eat, or blah, blah. Yeah, I'll call you. Okay, love you, girl, love you too. And she turns around from whoever she's talking to. She takes 2 steps towards me, and under her breath, she goes, I hate that bitch. Wait, what?
Well, and I think I said it last night too. I was like, that's being diplomatic. That's our diplomacy showing through, and our our intelligence, maybe. Like, we're like choosing our battles. Like, am I gonna confront this woman right now on the sidewalk? No. I'm going to be nice to her because that's
You're gonna
what's
jump
gonna
up
get
and
her out
down
of my
and hug
face.
and smile, and then be like, "I hate her." That's a little imbalanced, to say the least.
When have we ever seen you jump up and down?
I have seen that.
I want to hear Kathy's rebuttal. To
Yeah,
this. Come on now.
let Kathy tell her
Go ahead,
story.
tell
I
me
want to
that
hear it.
happened. Tell me it isn't true. I'll wait.
Okay, I have done that before, but I have not gotten that super happy to fake see somebody. But no, yeah. I mean, I agree with Raven about how it's more of like choosing your battle, and it's more mind games than anything with women.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
You see another woman as your competition in whatever you're doing, so you are nice to them up front and make it be very cordial, and then you stab them in the back sometimes.
Exactly. You're done. So
all I heard is a decade of her telling me that she didn't snore when I could hear it every night.
Choosing your battles, Dom.
She's lying to you and herself, chat.
Yep.
Well, it is interesting. Well, the other thing I wanted to bring up was when Bubbles said that Steph has gone through all this stuff and she's dealing with all of this stuff, like the death of her husband. She got stabbed in the eye. And last night we had mentioned how she had this baby that she's not even like acknowledged pretty much for the entire season. But like that might be something else that she's going through. Like, what if she's got like crazy postpartum depression or like postpartum like
she's throwing herself into her work because she's suffering from the bad baby blues. It's possible.
Or she's just got mom brain and she's going insanely evil.
Well,
to
that's
me,
what I
it
was
looks more disassociative than that.
The word. Sorry,
Yeah.
what'd you say, Ram?
I think her, whatever she's going through, like whatever trauma is put on her as the result of the attack, I think that she's become more disassociative. Remember, she was kind of really Magoo before all that, and that could have been an act too. And then like that antic has now progressed into this new emotional state that she's in. I don't think that she's depressed. You would see her cry more. But there's a disconnect there, which is why I think it's disassociation. She's disconnected to her emotional state.
If you remember, before he was taken to the vault, Hank was like true Ward Cleaver levels of goober, and now all of a sudden he is a Bond villain.
Yeah.
And
The
so
same thing with
I
Steph,
really
you know?
feel like he and Steph are cut from the same cloth, and that cloth might have an E on it. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I think
What's the difference
Steph and Hank were in cahoots.
But almost as interesting as their conversation are the things happening in the background during it, between Chet snooping around and oh, what's the pudgy guy's name? Warren?
Woody.
Woody.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, getting lost and then sitting next to the door and listening to the entire conversation between Steph and Betty. And in the meantime, Chet is looking through, is putting away her things, and he feels something in the drawer. And he lifts the bottom of the drawer and pulls her wallet out, and there's a Canadian ID with a date that, although I couldn't quite make it out, it was clearly her birth date, and it was clearly prior to 2077.
Yeah, so she's pre-war, and that freaks him out. At first, I was like, "Why is he freaking out? Just because she's Canadian? Come on now!" But no,
No,
I'm freaked out. Just
also, how would we? It's a fictional ID, so how would we be able to identify it as a viewer if it's fake or not?
Yeah.
And what is she doing with fake IDs?
Yeah, why would she need that?
I don't think that's crossing his mind at all. I think
I don't think
he's
I don't
the
think
realization
Chet's
that she was born before.
worldly enough to recognize those things. I think he's more or less reacting to fear of the unknown. He doesn't know what he thinks, so he's he's a coward. He said it so himself.
He snooped around with Norm a little bit, so he has like a tiny bit of information.
But he whined the whole time.
I know, but at the same time, he's still got a little bit of information, and then he sees this, and I think he starts to put two and two together, so to speak.
Oh yeah,
Where,
he knows he's in a bad situation for sure.
He knew that.
If he was in the other vault right now, he'd be at the product of inbreeding Tupperware party, having the snacks
and the water.
Definitely, he's definitely not the sharpest tool in the shed. So his realization there is a man that is fairly average or maybe a little below average, trying to come to terms with information that's outside of his picture, outside of his worldview.
His world, there's wheelhouse.
Yeah.
But poor Woody. He listens to that whole conversation almost right after it's all done. He goes and reports it to Steph.
Well, that's what he's been trained to do his entire life.
Yeah.
You got to run it up the chain, and she's the one up the chain.
And that's what's going to make Woody fertilizer for their cornfield in the weeks to come. I could just feel it, like that. Why, Woody? I mean, Jesus God, you're such an adorable little goober. Why would you even maybe run this by like one person in the vault before you go and do it?
Yeah,
because anybody with two brain cells,
he's never been in that position before.
Who would he run it by? The other guy that he ran into, that they talked about how they get confused with their rights and their lefts, is just as naive and hopelessly lost and out of their depth as he is. I mean,
are you talking about the older guy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
old guy with the big Wilford Brimley mustache.
Yeah. He was a goofball too.
How would they? It's hard to say. Like, I've seen people get into a relationship or whatever and be traumatized by that relationship in some way. I know everything's a two-way street, but I mean, people who are abused in some way by a partner who just after a few short years will change their personality. Now, imagine being born into a world where the rules are the rules are the rules. And when you have a violation, it has to be taken to the next person higher up than you or to the overseer themselves so it can be investigated. And this guy doesn't have the framework intellectually, morally, in any other way, except to go to Steph. And he
doesn't have the temperance or the experience to think past this situation because it's been outside of his bandwidth,
Right.
And the whole vault is feeling the stress creeping in.
He definitely has a couple of ticks on the idiot savant perk. I'll say that right now.
Maybe, yeah.
Oh,
what do you think
my God.
he expected to have happen? Like, what do you think he thought Steph would do? Like, once he reported Steph to Steph?
I think he expected that she would admit it and then give him an explanation that would make him feel good and satisfy his concern. Because that's the way it's always been when he was under Hank. When you go to Hank and you say, I have a concern, he not only answers your concern, but he pats you on the shoulder and looks you in the eye and makes you feel heard and safe again.
That was what my point was going to be. Most people just want to be seen when it comes to conflict.
And safe.
Even if you disagree,
safe.
Yeah, they want to know.
Before
do you understand?
Before he even said a word to Steph, like as soon as he sat down with her to talk to her, I was just sitting there screaming at my screen.
I don't know what. I think Bubbles is right. I think he just expected to like be coddled a little bit and made to feel safe, and Steph definitely did not do that.
She's not Hank. She has no pretense of the act that Hank would put on.
I mean, she is
probably also feels she
she's
doesn't
a side
need it
of
either.
Hank that most of them hadn't seen.
Sure.
She's definitely a different. She's definitely a version of Hank, just not the one they know.
And Ram mentioned that you thought that Hank and Steph are in cahoots, and I think that that as well because of what Steph asked Betty to do. Like, I'll help you if you get this little keepsake box for me from Hank.
From Hank's pod or whatever.
Yeah, which I theorized was some sort of device for leverage. Whatever it is in that box, clearly it means something to her enough to mention it. So whatever value she put into that is going to be significant.
Yeah. I wonder if it's personal though. Like, I wonder if it's like something because they had a personal relationship, or if it's
or
like just something like straight leverage, like some technology or like,
maybe they were both enclave plants and you open the box and it's
That's
a
my theory
prototype of the little mind control device that goes on the back of the neck.
Yeah.
Well,
I said something when we recorded this before, but I'm not going to bring it up now because I think it is proven at this point. So it'd be a little self-serving, but there's definitely a consideration that she has some connection to Bud, who was West Tech, some connection to Hank because she specifically knows what's in his keepsake box. I think that Ram is exactly correct, that there's some leverage in there that she needs to further her experiment or further her goals, whatever they are. And those are superseded anything that Vault-Tec had ever told her, as far as I can tell from this point of view. Whereas Betty might still be like, okay, we don't need Vault-Tec anymore. They're never going to come. She's still trying to operate by the rules that were given to her in order to act as an overseer of these vaults. She's still going to the meeting with the other overseer and they're trying to work things out. And I think Steph is playing her own game at this point, like a good Bond villain. So
yeah.
Absolutely. All she needs is a hairless cat.
Yeah, she's got one. His name's Chet.
He's more of an au pair.
No lies detected.
Yeah. All right. So the next scene was Lucy and the ghoul walking down the road. We already talked about that. Do more chems. So the scene after that is back at the Brotherhood base, and Dane greets Maximus and confronts him. And throughout the entire show, Dane has been kind of like us as viewers looking in and knowing everything and being able to see what's wrong. And yeah, they do a really good job of kind of expressing what we as the audience are kind of feeling. What do you guys think about that?
It'd be interesting to see if Dane takes up the role that Ron Perlman would have at the end of the story, where Dane actually narrates how it ends for everyone,
Yeah.
because of their perspective.
Yeah.
I think she's Max's mirror, the mirror to his inner world, his soul, his spirit, whatever drives him. I think she keeps holding that, or they keep holding that up. And being
Maximus
that for him, like an anchor emotionally or spiritually in some way.
Not only that, but Maximus needs a genuine ally in that court, especially since like the following scene after that, when the Brotherhood, the elders and the paladins of the other chapters start turning on each other.
Oh, we'll get there. Yeah, that was fun.
I don't think they're that ally. Honestly, I think they are the ally, but I think they have their own baggage they're unpacking too. There's
sure.
Where I was just about to say that.
But that house of cards is falling apart.
Well, even the part where they're like, well, what about that girl you met out there? There's an edge to that is like Dane felt superseded by Max almost wandering off with the Wastelander. Whether that's a romantic interest or not is irrelevant. What it is to me, they are still human enough to feel slighted, still human enough to be disappointed in Max. And I think that's what makes him such a good mirror for his internal life.
I think they'd make a good buddy movie too. Those two.
Yeah.
Yucking it up in the wasteland together.
I think it would be perfect for Dane if he took like the squires from the Brotherhood and brought them to the bottling plant and restarted this like care facility / cap factory for Maximus and Thaddeus and whoever happened to be rolling with them. Like, oh, you need supplies? There's caps in the back. How about it?
Well, they got to get real far away, so I don't think they're stopping at that bottling plant.
Very true. I'm just saying, you would. It's one of those. It's so dumb it just might work kind of plans. Like, oh, they never come back here, but we did.
But wait, they should at least swing by and pick up all the rest of the.
By the way, it was also cool to see like an actual the actual Sunset Sarsaparilla bottling plant, or at least it looked like it from New Vegas.
Yeah,
unbottling plant.
Unbottling
plant,
which was in New Vegas. You can actually see the Camp McCarran from the top of it.
I was just hoping they would pan inside so we could see Festus.
Yeah, I think Festus will show up eventually.
Festus icon showed up in '76.
The animatronic thing in the bottling plant that you turn in.
What
all
is
your
this?
I'm trying to, because he howdy partner kind of thing. He's just an upper body that does this and tells you about the bottle caps and how there's a special prize and that prize is pew.
Well, this is either a Sunset Sarsaparilla machine or it's the weirdest circle jerk I've ever.
I thought, I was like, is he milking a goat cow?
No, I meant Festus would just kind of move. He was just this, and he would just kind of howdy, partner. You got them bottle caps to turn in.
Festus is awesome. I
he's
wish
great. I love him.
I didn't really spend a whole lot of time in there, but I kind of wish I did now, so I could get a better visual of that.
You didn't talk to Malcolm Reynolds? He didn't chase you across like the Nellis bombing range to ask you about that?
Malcolm Reynolds? You're in the wrong.
Well, I forget what his last name was, but he's the character that runs up.
You never have Malcolm just pop up out of nowhere, scare the shit out of you, and then troll you about bottle caps?
That fucker chased me across I barely made it across the bombing range.
And he followed you, didn't he?
And I was out in the middle of the Nellis Air Force Base doing quests for the boomers, and I popped the sarsaparilla because I needed some health after I fought the ants. And all of a sudden, across the bombing range, I see that fucker running over, and I'm just like, "You got to be kidding me!" Like, no
he's
way.
He's like a genius.
He's telepathic
He's literally a genie of the Sunset Sarsaparilla bottle. You open it up, and if it's got the star cap, he just pops right out and tells you
the
all
bottle
about
cap sense the hairs on the arms stand up
Poof!
like
Hey,
Peter
Frank,
Parker on the
don't know
bus.
if you know what you got there.
Oh, man. My faction was too low with the boomers because I was screaming, "Shoot him! Shoot him!" And they did.
Fire at will. More big booms. Let's go. The lady likes explosions. Light it up.
Yep.
All right. So, and then the next scene in the show. Oh, sorry. I wasn't looking at you when I started talking. Was anyone else about to talk there?
No, you're fine.
No,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
Okay. Sorry. The next scene is all of the interns from the cryo vault, and they're all out and they're scavenging on the surface, and they're actually surviving. They seem to be doing okay. But then Norm's authority is challenged by Bud's personal assistant, Ronnie.
Oh,
And Ronnie seems to have all of the answers to all of Norm's questions, but there's it's a really tense moment between the two of them. And
Yeah, they're shadow boxing.
yeah, it was super. I don't know. All of Norm's scenes are really, really tense, but yeah, that one I was like, I wonder what's gonna happen between these two. What do you guys think?
I love the way you told him to go
I
ahead.
can't talk.
Lead the way.
I can't. I already saw.
Yeah, Ram, we have to pretend that we did not see episode 5.
Anything I say is going to be disingenuous, so I'm passing.
Yeah. I think Norm handled it as well as he could by realizing the guy knew something he didn't know, and asking him to lead the way.
Mhm.
Yes.
In other words, he could pick up and maybe ascertain what was happening by watching this fella closely and trying to figure out what it is that he knew that he didn't know. You know?
Give him enough rope to hang himself.
Yes, Bubbles. I agree with that. Ram.
Thank you.
He's just telling you to shoosh.
I have no 5.
I had my reasons for saying that.
I'll do it again.
I didn't say anything other than
the kid was
I
super
was
cute.
being
I'll do it
honest.
again.
if I say anything, if I make any kind of speculation, it's like people are gonna know I'm bullshitting. So best I don't add to it.
I loved seeing the Vault 31 inhabitants running around in the wasteland, like ripping through boxes and trucks and like basically eating ramen noodles raw with no water, no
dry macaroni.
Yeah.
Got a good mouthful.
This is a Blamco, yeah. Blamco straight out of the box.
It was like,
Right.
oh yeah, this is fine.
I know, like, what are you for?
That was one thing that always bothered me about the game. How come you never had a Coke Blamco mac and cheese? You could just eat it.
Well,
that would be crunchy as hell.
Not focus so much on the
worse
immersion.
coming out than it did going in. Like Jesus, God, no.
I eat uncooked ramen noodles. I don't know about you guys. I don't eat uncooked macaroni.
They're snacky.
Yeah, uncooked ramen, snacky. Anyways, yeah, let's not talk about snacks. Let's talk about the show.
Freaking Canadians, man.
This is why we need to move forward with the annexation.
Yeah,
yeah, I know. We'll bring you savages in line soon enough.
Holy
shit! Steal all of our superior snacks.
Ram's too close to the border. He's becoming one of them.
No, there's enough upheaval in my state. Believe me.
Yeah,
we don't want that smoke.
We don't need any more drama.
You don't need that.
Okay, so did anyone else have anything to say about Ronnie and that whole situation? And do you think there's like the girl that keeps talking to Norm and she's like,
how she was looking at the bridge?
She's vulnerable.
Yeah.
She's
really very vulnerable.
She was very sweet. Maybe there's something there, but yeah, the only thing I can add is that whole scene between Ronnie and Norm was your typical male. I don't know how else to put this. I'm just going to say it: dick measuring contest.
Yeah,
and the look on Norm's face when he said, he knew about essentially phase 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like, ooh,
yeah.
I I'm gonna milk this fool. I want to, I've got an inquiring mind. I want to know. I didn't get enough from those terminals. I want to know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just
in
hope that Norm's made a love connection. That's all I hope.
Yeah, that would
It'd be
Yeah.
nice
Or
because
like
like
have an ally of
Has
some
Norm
sort.
even done cousin stuff at this point?
we don't
Oh,
know. They
yeah.
don't mention that. Has he ever had a relationship before? Is he emotionally capable of having one? Or maybe this girl who's emotionally raw and fairly unguarded, like that could be, romance in the wasteland is something to look
Maybe.
forward to. But I
Certainly
think
sounds
most importantly, for Norm's character arc to really feel like it's evolving, like adding an element of that was something I wasn't expecting because I wanted to see him kind of go dark. I wanted to see what would happen if you put a gun in his hand.
mm,
And I potentially could see him becoming villain-esque to the point where maybe he and Ronnie do go at it at some point in time while they're competing for leadership and what's happening. Like I
well,
thought it
and
would be an
because
interesting point, but
yeah.
having that consideration in the back of his head, like people are actually watching me. How do I look to these people? I got to lead them somehow, or at
Mhm,
least keep my bullshit going for a while.
Right.
mhm.
How I appear to them is going to matter, and that presence of making those connections with any one of them is going to influence him away from that villain arc for
For
sure.
sure, for sure. And we mentioned last night about how Norm is Hank's son. And so he's got a lot of what makes Hank
Angst.
yeah,
He's
well,
he's
angsty, but
got
like
angst.
he's very like he's very smart. He's very
Hmm.
controlled
Cunning.
almost and
Manipulative.
cunning and manipulative and
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time,
calculating.
he spent however long in that vault with the Roomba that had the brain capsule on top of it, listening to
Hmm.
essentially how evil his father was and how everything he was taught was basically bullshit. And so if he wanted to become a villain, he could have probably just went along with Bud's plans all along.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
So I
guess.
find it hard for
I
Norm
don't know.
to
I don't know. I'm not even on the greatest of possible terms with my biological father, I guess. But
I was
I don't
never
know how much I listened to a brain on top of a vacuum cleaner tell me about what a bad guy he was before I was even born. I think that he is absorbing information and trying to make the best of it as he goes along. And he saw Ronnie as just the next step in that process. And that
Hmm.
speaks to the Machiavellianism that he got from his father for sure. But it
yeah.
doesn't necessarily make him a villain.
But
Um,
also
But
when he got that look on his face when he heard about phase
Mhm.
2, it was like he was almost interested to see exactly how evil his father was in real
Mhm.
life.
maybe.
But there's a point in that story also I want to put out is that his character arc is separate away from how Lucy had a relationship with her mom so much so that she actually remembered in small parts the Shady Sands things where you don't see that with the brother. He doesn't he didn't get any weird flashes, so he clearly wasn't kidnapped by that time, but still was his mother. So I think the whole parental divergence in that is pretty valid because they're kind of separate in my mind that way.
Yeah, and talking about speaking of like dichotomies, what I thought of when I saw this scene was like Ronnie being very threatening and Norm feeling threatened by Ronnie for sure, but also realizing that he needs Ronnie and he needs to like ingratiate himself to Ronnie somehow if he's going to learn the things that Ronnie knows.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was really interesting too, like how he handled that whole situation. Like, no, I could like I
Well, I
don't
could
know.
die here. I'm surrounded
Yeah.
by 30 people who I have convinced that I am their leader. And
Mhm.
they're all, for all I know, true believers in this Vault Tech thing, which, according to the robot that I was talking to for the last 2 weeks, are some evil, crazy, plotting people. So I either sneak off by myself and try to survive on my own and hope they don't follow and track me down and force me to explain my actions, or I figure out real quick what these people know and what the plan is supposed to be. Because if not, I'm dead.
Right. You know the old saying, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what it felt like when Norm looked at Ronnie and said,
Yeah.
lead on.
Lead the way, buddy.
For
Lead
sure.
the way.
Yeah.
Take it away.
Face away from me.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me
I'm
see
right
your back.
behind you. I'm right
Yep.
behind you. Yeah.
And I also mentioned last night, like maybe he also did that because Ronnie may lead them into danger, and better for Ronnie to lead them into danger than for Norm to lead them
Right.
into danger.
Mhm.
So it could have been a little self-preservation in that regard as well. So yeah, I thought that scene was really interesting, and for how short it was, like that interaction between Norm and Ronnie, it was
There was a
told us
ton
a
to it,
lot.
for sure.
Yeah, told us a lot for sure. Okay, so back. Oh, and we forgot to mention actually the most important part of that conversation was when Ronnie talks about the future Enterprise Ventures group that he
FUZ.
was working for.
Mhm.
Ironic,
Code
isn't it?
name.
And yeah, and Bubbles was right on top of it and was like, well, those initials are very Bubbles.
Code.
Those initials
You
are
got any more
very
of that? You got any more of that jet? That no
air
comment.
sealant.
No comment at this point. It would be disingenuous for me to go on about that. But I definitely picked up right away at the time because I'm a word guy. You know,
Yeah,
I love
same.
that shit. So I picked it up right away that there was a similar initials to another thing that we always talk about in Fallout. So
To another thing that we always
another
talk about.
thing.
It's a
In
thing. It happens all the time.
Just put it
Mostly
together.
from
people.
one group,
Future
if not maybe
Enterprise
two.
Ventures. Just
Right,
put it
right,
together,
right.
man. Haven't you ever done Wordle before? Come on.
All right, okay. And then so down back in Vault 32, we actually already talked about this because this was the conversation
Oh,
between
Woody.
Woody overhearing Betty and Steph and blah blah
Poor
blah.
adorable idiot savant. Oh,
I think we decided that he has like a luck 11, right? Because he's so lucky he
Got it.
survived the initial raider attack and everything.
I swear, the guy is the Bugs Bunny of the wasteland. Like he walked around that vault and ended up at the door. Like I took a wrong turn in Albuquerque.
Yeah, I don't even think that he's an idiot necessarily. I think his world is so small that he's never had to be anything other than small enough to fit in that world. You know, we'll see what he becomes when the world gets all of a sudden a lot bigger on him, which it's starting to do. So, you know.
Yeah. Okay, so next we see the Ghoul and Lucy making their way to New Vegas. And we talked about this kind of too, but we can talk about it more when Lucy unloads all of her guns on the Kings.
Oh,
that was pretty fun.
Wait, do we have a clip of that too?
Anyway, I started blasting. Bang! Bang!
Not quite, almost.
What, that wasn't it? Oh, my bad.
But yeah, no, I thought that was really, really fun to watch Lucy go to town on all the feral ghouls, and the ghoul just kind of like let it happen. Like these are the drugs
let
talking.
it happen.
I mean the chems.
I mean, he was almost happy watching it, and maybe watching that scene, maybe the NCR had the right idea. They pumped her full of buff out because they knew that trunk full of weapons all had the Junkies legendary.
Yeah, exactly.
She was one-shotting every ghoul.
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
Nobody in the NCR needed Junkies weapons, but here we go. There you go.
Yeah.
You're all set now. Have fun.
How convenient.
Yeah, in fairness, feral ghouls aren't generally all that tough against a high-level character. So
no,
and she's definitely mid-level at least on her journey. So
they're just damn quick usually. Yeah, the feral ghouls in the show are not quite as quick as they are.
The speed was
got in
only in the
trouble.
Reavers, the ghoul Reavers from Fallout 3
Well,
were the only ones that ran up to you like that. But then in Fallout 4, all of them do it now.
All of them do.
Well, we got the
Which
one that
made them
Hunter and knocked them
genuinely.
out.
I was terrified of ghouls in the streets when I
To
first
be
played
fair
Fallout
here,
4.
Bubbles, it like an episode ago or maybe 2, she was having a tough time with a bark scorpion. You can kill those at level 1, no problem.
Yeah, but she was in melee range. She's a marksman. She's not spec for
that
melee.
is also true. That is also
She,
true.
you saw her doing jujitsu classes.
Yeah, but
wow, my idiot brain went, yeah, jujitsu works on humans.
I don't know.
I'll see myself out,
I don't know if
everybody.
you can take down a bark scorpion with a judo.
Yeah.
kick, you know?
No, I
Maybe
took
Austin Powers
jujitsu
could
for a
do
long
that.
time.
Sweep the leg. Sweep the
I
leg.
feel like an idiot for saying it. Yeah, sweep the leg, Johnny.
Which one?
No mercy.
Which one?
Sweep them all, no mercy.
Okay.
Oh man, sorry. I had a brain fart.
That's okay.
It's okay. I love the fun.
We are moving on to back to the Brotherhood base, and Thaddeus, who is still impersonating Xander Harkness, gets cornered by the Yosemite and Coronado elders. And that conversation is very interesting, and how it all turns out is also very interesting. But just the fact that they were both trying to bargain with who they thought was Harkness so that they could remain in favor with Maxon.
Who was named.
Yeah.
Out loud.
Named in this episode, so he exists.
Yeah.
He reigns, theoretically.
Yeah.
He's huge.
And how well, and at this point, and we talked about the timeline and how it was a little bit wonky with Dane taking the artifact and then the other elder coming in and saying, oh, the artifact's been stolen and this is why the fight happens. Who was it that noticed that? Who brought that up last night? Was that Dom? Okay. Okay. Yeah, very interesting. They could have done that a little bit different.
It was first and foremost, do they have anybody guarding their most precious asset? The one thing they're using to basically try to unite the other chapters against Maxon. They don't have one guy, one knight in T60, one scribe, one cleric, one anything watching this.
Just
or was it maybe the Coronado chapter who kind of snuck in and were attempting to get rid of those guards when Dane kind of snuck around them and snatched Cold Fusion.
I believe foul play at work.
When they couldn't pull off the actual heist, they just went along with their plan saying it was stolen. But either way, when that conversation started with Harkness / Thaddeus and the other elders, and knowing that what Maximus was just about to attempt to do, at that point, I'm just sitting there thinking one thing.
Shit's about to hit the fan.
Exactly.
And the shit did hit.
Yes.
That's for sure.
I have a hard time taking any of these Brotherhood factions very seriously. These are
none of the ones presented. Well,
they're the same idiots that play hacky sack with plasma grenades. It's likely that they went out around the back corner to do more of that, and she just slipped in the side door. I mean, who knows?
I mean, they all are.
I really get the
low
one from
intelligence
Yosemite.
builds. Like high strength, low intelligence builds.
Yeah,
I do. I kind of like the lady from Yosemite.
She's awesome.
She's buff and rabid.
She's awesome. But the people that would have been guarding the relic were from San Fernando. And,
I believe that too.
They're tools. Let's be honest. I mean, they're religious zealots. They throw away alien bodies so they can have a working refrigerator.
Yeah.
They play hacky sack with plasma grenades. They're morons.
They're the children of Adam without the rads.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure do have a lot of clears, but none of them tacticians.
Yeah. A lot of clerics.
True.
A lot of clerics.
A lot of clerics. A lot of robes.
They love them some doctrine.
But then what was great about the Yosemite elder was that she was like, God, I'm not about any of that. Like, that's not what the Brotherhood is for me. And
So
she made it known that she was not messing around. So
she was wearing the boots.
she was wearing the boots.
She
Yeah.
made it known with a very sharp knife. That was
You don't
awesome.
shut up. I'm gonna stab you in the face.
Yeah.
She told him.
Yeah.
She
The
told him.
cojones it takes to walk up to a man and say that to his face minutes
then
before
do it.
actually doing it. I looked at her and I went, "Ooh, I like you. You get
Hopefully
shit
she-
done."
What are
Hopefully
you
she
doing
didn't-
Saturday night?
Did we watch her die? Did someone kill her, or she?
No, we didn't
just-
see her die.
I didn't see her
Yeah.
die.
I would be
because
disappointed if they did.
It was immediately like she stabs the guy in the face, and then the elder with the license plate.
Yeah, because the camera kind of
Dayglow.
faded.
just
Elder
goes,
Dayglow. Yeah.
"Oh, that's cool," and then pulls his pistol, and the next
Mhm.
thing you know, here we are again.
Anyway, I started blasting. Bang! Bang!
Yeah, but she was still holding Grand Canyon and using him as a personal shield.
Yeah, she had a meat shield.
Your armor becomes my armor now.
She would kind of duck behind Harkness with the meat shield, if you noticed.
Well, he
Yeah.
started scooting right away. He was like, "Ah,
He
yes,
was
I
trying
go,
to scoot away, and
go,
she's like
go."
holding the body, like trying to get
Yeah.
behind him.
But then afterwards, the whole base was like engulfed in flames. So, like, did everyone die? I wonder. I don't know. We don't know.
Yeah, that's we kind of got left.
Well, when
in
the camera panned away and one of the airships was going down.
yeah,
Mhm.
and I didn't even know
So
airships
there's
had
that.
weapons until that episode. That was pretty freaking cool.
Mhm.
That was
they
like
had
watching
weapons.
Star Destroyers and like Rebel cruisers fight each other in Star Wars with their.
Mhm.
It was like, oh, this.
Well,
this
the
could be-
Bridwin didn't have mounted weapons in Fallout 4, but that's the extent that we know of it.
right. So,
Are
it was
all of those ships
the-
uniform though?
but
Probably
they
No,
they kind of left us with
ships
the
of the
brother-
line in real life weren't even like during the golden age of piracy. All of their outfits were slightly variated, or modified in some cases.
Oh, gotcha. But they left us with the Brotherhood in the same spot they left us with the Legion. Like, yes, they're attacking each other, and we've got a civil war going on. But will anybody be left standing? We don't know. It leaves it open down the line, whether in this season or next season, because we know there's going to be a next, to see who comes out of who if anyone comes out of these wars as like a new faction. Who knows? Maybe Big Mama with the knife is now the leader of every Brotherhood chapter left because she's the only elder left standing.
You know what'd be interesting? This just popped into my head. Can you imagine what would happen if the Commonwealth shows back up? And again, there's that trouble with Harkness that kind of gets glossed over, and then they join factions. But then later on, the Yosemite Elder shows up and says, "Hey, aren't you that guy that?" And then sparks the whole thing up again. I don't. Yeah, I think she's gonna make another. She's not done.
I don't think she's
not done.
I don't think she's done. Absolutely.
We know her name. We don't even know her name. Just the Yosemite Elder.
That's what I just call them by the like Grand Canyon
Yeah.
Elder, Yosemite Elder, Dayglow Elder, San Fernando.
Yeah,
You know his
I don't
name,
think
Quintus,
they.
but-
I don't think
Her
they-
name is Elder McCrae, according to the
McCrae.
wiki.
Elder McCrae.
Yeah.
All right.
We
We
have
like
not
Elder
seen the
McCrae.
last of
Yeah,
Elder
she
McCrae.
looks very Irish too.
That woman is a goddamn G. She could survive anything. She
Oh,
could live
seriously.
cockroach.
Yeah. She's got the gangsta lean for real.
The gangster lead.
As soon
I
as
know.
as soon as she fulfilled that prophecy she had given minutes earlier, I went, that woman's a goddamn G.
So
agree.
who is not a G is Quintus and Max. Their confrontation just made me angry. That whole thing just made me angry.
You and me both.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think
Like,
that was
what-
something
what?
that the writers wanted to project onto the audience, is that the confusion, the frustration, and the anxiety of that scene. They wanted to put that in you.
Yeah, I mean it's it's like I had, I had said this, and obviously I'll say it again because thanks StreamYard, you're bullshit. Anyway, um, the relationship between Maximus and Quintus reminds me so much of the early to early history and beyond of like Anakin Skywalker and Palpatine and what they became. And it was all because Palpatine basically manipulated a young man with what he knew would get him to convince him to follow that man to the brink of extinction, more or less. And all the while, that young man was looking for the acceptance of his tutor, his master, his elder, if you will, but he never quite got it. And it took that young man so much to get to the point where he finally realized it and put his mentor down. And that's why as soon as Maximus walked in that room with that laser pistol, I just said, "Pull the trigger, kid." I know, but pull the trigger. Like you'll be so much better off. You won't have to worry about somebody having the high ground. You're not going to lose an arm and a leg and end up in the iron lung. Just pull the fucking trigger.
Yeah, because he seemed so sure of himself when he was talking to Dane. Like,
Yeah, that's
I'm going to kill.
The second time he offered violence as an answer.
I don't think that's who he is, though. And
no, it's
more than that,
not.
I think that the reason why he's
Tell
not
Harkness that.
Vader and Palpatine is because he's got Dane. Anakin didn't have a Dane, and I think that having that character that can mirror back to your own inner values in that way is what prevents somebody like Palpatine or Quintus from getting their hooks in you all the way. And I think I think he walked in there hoping to take care of business. He started talking to him, felt he had to explain himself, had doubts, but in the end, he lived up to Dane. When he walked out, "I didn't kill him. I'm sorry. I'm sorry." You don't have to apologize for not killing a person. And he lived up to Dane, which I think makes his relationship with seeking a father figure so much less important than just finding somebody to mirror their own inner life back at them in a positive way.
Yeah, I want to split hairs with you on
we're
something.
Survivors, it's what we do.
Yeah.
It just made him feel better about the whole thing. But I seriously, when he walked in, I just said, "Pull the trigger, dude. Don't listen to a word. Just do it."
Yeah.
I will. But Bubbles, I would have to disagree with you on something, and maybe it doesn't fit perfectly, but like Anakin had Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah, but
the relationship is not fully the same, but
didn't have
there was some
though, during the filming of the prequels.
Yeah, sure.
So,
but
also true.
Relationship.
If you were to remove that,
the relationship, the dynamic was different because it did not exist, not even in the minds of the author. So that's the problem with that. If you were to go back and retell that story, then you could pull that nuance from it. But without that, you just have imaginary nuance.
But it dawned on it didn't dawn on me until tonight. So I want to ask you guys this: if somehow the Brotherhood survives, if most of the elders, other than let's say all the elders are gone, instead of and McCrae and Quintus are the only ones left over, who do you think runs the remnants of that Brotherhood of Steel chapter?
Well, first of all, if there's a fight between McCrae and Quintus, I don't think Quintus is going to walk away from that. He can barely stand half the time.
Yeah. In my mind, it's McCrae, and not just because she's a G, but because she can literally point to the fact that while I was neck deep in a Brotherhood civil war, you were locked in a room that your little pet project stuck you in, safe and sound. Which one of us is more of a leader?
If Quintus
who's got more knights at that point, but if she gets her hands on Quintus, he's broken.
Yeah, if Quintus could use gospel word salad on these kids to get them to follow him, McCrae with her, "I'm telling you straight up, this is bullshit," they'll follow her in a heartbeat. they'll tow that rope without question.
Especially after whatever they watch her do in the middle of that all-out war between Brotherhood factions. Anybody that's left over is going to say, "Yeah, I'm following her."
Well, that's a good point. We may see that too. I don't think Quintus has gone for good. I don't think they lock him in a room with a chain to kill the character off screen. But at the same time, I could see her leading what's left of the West Coast Brotherhood at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, hypothetically, I think it's McCrae all the way.
I have a 50-50, like she either executes him or has him court-martialed, or has him put away.
Or he escapes in a vertibird and flies to Vegas or whatever.
Yeah, is he going to run to get to one?
I'm just saying. I don't think we.
We said earlier, sweep the leg, Johnny.
Yeah. So I agree as a practical matter, but I don't think we've seen the last.
I think if Quintus were to make an escape, it would have to be far more cerebral than his body will allow him.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, he's going to need to be sneaky.
I want to hear it. Burb Lady, what do you think?
I think that the only person that will satisfy my need in this show. Okay, so yeah, sorry, I'm like.
I like where you're wording this. Let's hear it.
Okay, so in order for me to be satisfied with Quintus's death, it has to be Maximus who does it.
I agree.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Or if not Maximus, then it has to be Maximus has to be there for it to get the resolution from it.
Exactly. As far as like a TV show making standpoint, in order to have this kind of closure for Maximus, I'm pretty sure that he'll have to be involved in Quintus's death somehow.
Okay.
So as cool as it would be for McCrae to be the one to do it, I think that Maximus will either make the call or he'll do it himself.
Well, I think if they do make a callback to that, I'm thinking season 3 where they actually have the court marshaling where he's present, maybe at the beginning, no less. Just to kind of give the new season an emotional twist right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, my better half. Any thoughts? Who would you want to see running the Brotherhood, killing Quintus, so on and so forth?
McCrae would definitely be the one to run everything, for all the reasons that everybody has said, and plus she's just a total badass and
kind of
tells
a badass.
how it is.
And she's a woman, and she will be diplomatic when she needs to be, and she will choose her battles.
She's got that amazing fur coat.
But can you imagine for a minute if Dane took that position?
That would also be very awesome.
I think it would too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I honestly don't.
It'd also be an interesting nipple tweak to all the Alpha Bro BOS followers out there.
Oh my God!
Wouldn't it?
Every Giga Chad would revolt and throw away their copies of Fallout games worldwide.
Let them. Jesus,
yeah, really.
Let them.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let them.
At least you said it, so I don't look like the only hater. Thank you, Bubbles. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not saying that out of hate, but it would just be like there would be a lip curl moment for me.
I'm not even saying hate either. What I'm
fucking let them.
Yeah, your headcanon is not sacrosanct, people.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I'm not saying it out of hate either. It's not like that. I just, I don't want people to think that I am. It's more along the lines of this.
I don't care.
Exactly.
There's
parking spaces for me, bro.
Right this second, but there are 65 million people watching this show.
Right.
The Fallout fans that have played the games and as much as we have are a tiny fraction of that. And the tiny fraction of us that are so in love with whatever meathead version of the Brotherhood of Steel would reject her as a leader is so much tinier than that go. Just go.
I say,
let's just not even give them any credence. Like, why? There's not even any point.
Yeah,
in,
I don't even
You're
care.
right.
Like,
I think that's all
I'll be
the
smug for everybody. Don't
use
worry.
your
that's all the
fucking
time we need to
username
put
as
in
a
on
code
that.
for merch or whatever. You know,
Yeah.
just go.
All right. So, the last thing that we need to talk about is the last. Well, yeah, the last scene in the episode when Lucy and the ghoul finally make it back to the strip, and it's devoid of people. There are no people there, but there are other things there, like those eggshells that Lucy finds, and all the radiation. So, what do you think is
This
going
is
on
the
with
end,
that?
or are you sure this isn't the beginning?
This is
This
the
is
last scene.
This is the last
The
scene.
last scene.
Lucy and the ghoul make it to New Vegas, but find it completely devoid of people.
And
They do
boom,
discover
boom,
some
out
massive
pops the
radioactive
Jack in the
No,
Box
eggshells,
from the Gamora.
Is
and
it?
a
No,
huge
that's the
death claw emerges
strip.
from.
The
Yes,
strip
on
is
the
devoid
strip.
of people.
On the strip, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I
So
thought it was a
where's
lumberjack
the
box.
radioactivity coming from? First of all,
Well, we touched on that at the beginning. Our theory seems to be that there was a reactor leak in the Lucky 38, which is why their lights are out and the Kings are radiated. That's what I think they're picking up on. And I think it's natural that the death claws, for whatever reason they're there, would choose to nest their eggs in a highly radioactive spot.
Right.
So
Because I think if you remember the death claw at the beginning of the show looked much more traditional, like we've seen this in game and so on and so forth. But going back and looking at the one that was on the strip, it seemed to be a little bit different. And it felt like they were showing us the death claw that was like created in a government lab compared to the death claw that mutated from a species in the wasteland, which I thought was pretty cool. And I think, like GP said, that kind of nuclear leak or meltdown on the strip would definitely cause something like that. It would be enough to make anybody, including the Kings who might have been on the strip, ghoulify and go feral. And it would definitely start a mutation of death claws who were essentially trying to find a place to spawn their young, and why not do it in a highly irradiated area like that?
I agree with that. As far as the rest of it, I have no comment. It's an interesting theory, and I like it. But I don't have any way to comment on this without carrying knowledge forward. So I'm just gonna say that I like the idea. I think it's a
Way
cool
he's telling me
concept.
I'm wrong, but that's
No,
okay.
no, I'm not saying you're wrong. I think you're exactly right why they would spawn their eggs there. But as far as the rest of that stuff goes, the difference between the one at the beginning and the one at the end, I think we're going to be pleasantly surprised at how this all pans out.
I think that the truth and what people perceive to be the truth of that situation can be two different things.
Right, right.
Yeah.
But
there's a lot of different types of death claws in the Commonwealth in Fallout 4 too.
It just seems particular that the ghoul, aka Cooper Howard, when he looked at the death claw, there was a recognition there where it wasn't just this is a memory. This is striking detail. You could see it in his face. He's like, oh my God, what we don't know what he was actually seeing, or maybe it was just the threat of maybe seeing the one from Alaska, but it was enough to scare the crap out of him. And for the first time, the ghoul is shitting himself.
Yeah, that look alone screamed PTSD.
Yeah.
PTSD.
Oh, definitely.
We don't start the episode with a death claw, and in the episode with a death claw without really framing it as about his PTSD.
Because I mean, at this point, like 200 some odd years past,
for sure,
he has become a whole different person, a much more cold, callous person. But as soon as he sees that death claw, it's like none of it ever happened.
Vivid detail.
Yeah,
you can see it on his face.
He de-levels. He de-levels back to his pre-war self for a minute there.
Well, I think the greatest I wish I had been recording it while we were watching the episode, because her reaction when you see the death claw bust out, you see the look on Cooper and Lucy's face, and then they just cut to credits, was classic. I mean, literally, like fade to black, start throwing the McCarran stuff up, and you're sitting there going, "What?" Like
Yeah.
What was your reaction?
Like, what happens? I need to know.
Come on,
know.
Yeah.
I said out loud, I was like, "Mommy."
Sure, hers was just total
I
rage.
want to go home.
Are you kidding me?
But last
It's a
night
good
we had talked
cliffhanger.
about, yeah, it was a good cliffhanger for sure. But last night we talked about why did the Deathclaw in the first scene of the episode not eat Cooper in his power armor?
Oh yeah, and I had said something like, well, maybe it was because it had already been filled by the Chinese soldiers, or maybe it was because that particular Deathclaw, or maybe the ones they put in Anchorage, had some sort of like
thermal vision.
like vision that detected heat, which is why it went after the 3 that weren't in power armor. But
That
then
is an interesting
it looked
thing.
at Cooper Howard, and like if you've seen the Predator movies, like when Arnold put
Yeah.
the blood, the Predator couldn't see him, but when some of it would wash off, he could just see specks. And
Chameleons have thermal pits.
So maybe the Deathclaw walked up and he just saw heat signatures here or there, and he didn't know what it was, or it didn't know what it was. Sorry, I'm being gender specific. I know I'm old, I'm crotchety, forgive me, but it didn't know what he was, so it chose to just walk away.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And in my head, I was like, they're somehow programmed to not eat American soldiers.
We know they were pre-war creations of the Enclave. That's in the first Fallout Prima official strategy guide. So we know that's what they really are.
Oh.
I'm thinking it recognizes them as friend and not foe. Whether
So
it's programming, whether it's a chip, whether whatever, but it's
So if that's the case, would Cooper Howard's PTSD, like just the attack for sure, would cause PTSD for sure, but he wasn't eaten. So do you think Cooper Howard realizes or is cognizant of the fact that he was not eaten, or like why he wasn't eaten?
Yeah,
and is that playing into how he's reacting?
I don't know, but having experience with people who suffer from PTSD, if you get just a glimpse of something from your past, you basically relive it like it's happening all over again. And so maybe this has just been Cooper's reaction whenever he sees a Deathclaw, because this is the first time we are seeing him see one.
Yeah.
He didn't act this way when the giant rad scorpion busted through the door. He might have gotten a little startled. He might have tried to book and find cover and do whatever, but like he did not have that look on his face. And all you need in that situation is to be triggered. So as soon as he saw that Deathclaw, he remembers the fire and the soldiers getting mangled by this monster all over again.
The camera didn't see the Chinese soldiers, but he
did.
Saw what savagery they were capable of.
Exactly.
Also, I just fact checked myself, so I really got ahead of myself in here. It's not, the chameleons don't have thermal pits. I was actually thinking of the horny toads, but it says very specifically that pit vipers and certain saltwater crocodiles have thermal pits. So,
and even
but it would be cool if Deathclaws had full-on predator vision.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, that makes them that more terrifying to me.
Even a rattlesnake will strike at body heat.
Yeah.
So
they're one of the ones cited.
It's all in reptilian sort of DNA, so it could be a thing. We all have solid theories. I'm just saying, when he saw that thing bust through the door, he literally went back to that moment that we saw at the beginning of the show, and that's what the look on his face was.
Yeah, he's got a gun that could take out power armor, but he didn't draw it against a Deathclaw?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, 3
yeah.
death claws. I mean,
for God's sake, he even fought off a giant rad scorpion, but he refused to do. He literally just froze in place.
They didn't want to trivialize the conflict. I think that was a production choice.
Yeah, and in fairness, he did scamper under the table, and he was making an O with his face. Oh, as he was scampering under the table.
Yeah. But that's the thing. There was at least some emotion there. Like when the Deathclaw had, he locks up, like his face, his body.
That's a freeze response.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's definitely got history.
And
with
unfortunately,
that.
I have seen that before in real life, and it's sad, but it doesn't make it less true. And I actually give a lot of kudos to the show, the way they set that up and played that out on screen in front of you, because it was very, very accurate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I will have to say that he didn't need the hand cannon to really do the kind of damage he does. That lever gun, which holds 45 government rounds, those are monsters too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I used to own one.
Ain't doing shit against Deathclaw hide unless you get it a belly shot. So,
give it to Lucy and Vats.
Does it have the Junkies legendary on it?
You saw what was in the case.
I mean, it's the Ghoul, so yeah, it's got to have the Junkies legendary, right?
Yeah. I did see, like I mentioned this in the other previous podcast, but I was just like, the first thing that jumped out to me was the caravan shotgun, and I was just like, ooh,
yeah.
Oh man,
I was looking real hard for it.
Betty.
I was looking real hard.
You.
I was looking real hard for a service rifle. Like, come on, give me one, give me one, give me one.
And for those of you who do not own the Gunrunner's Arsenal, the caravan shotgun is one of the ones that you get, and it's lovely.
It's awesome.
I don't know. I like my energy weapons. You guys can keep the ballistics for yourselves. Pew,
Girls,
pew.
chicks dig the pew pews. I don't know what it is about them. Even this one.
No kick.
Anyways, is there anything else that we forgot? Did we forget to talk about something?
Not that I can think
I'm all
of.
set.
No, what?
Yeah.
I think we've covered it all.
Yeah, we talked about all of the scenes that I noted down. So, yeah, I think we did it again, guys. We talked about episode 4 again.
This better be here tomorrow, StreamYard. I swear to God.
It's been fun, guys. Glad to do it again.
It's been a blast. I would do this with you every night if I could, but I guess now it's time to say goodbye to our Wasteland company.
Yeah.
Hey,
Thanks
it's
so
been
much,
really
guys.
fun.
And I'll say it again. Thank you so much, Dom, for taking the reins as far as all the tech goes.
Oh yeah, I'm doing a great job.
Yeah, you're doing a great job.
No, that's not your fault. That's not your fault.
I know.
No, you did. Yeah, exactly. You didn't change any of the
Yay,
settings from
technology.
previous sessions, so I'm not sure what happened there, but
Let's keep our fingers crossed on this one.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thanks so much, guys, for sitting down with me again and talking about Follow the TV show, because we love it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Hostess with the mostest.
Yeah.
Anytime,
All right.
Lady Raven.
Much
That's
love,
her.
my friends.
All right, guys. You guys have a good night, and we will catch you soon enough for episode 5.
Bye. Everybody.
But maybe tomorrow, shit made me feel better whenever we change up the weather tomorrow. I'm tired of sorrow, shit maybe tomorrow.